There's a fundamental problem with vibe coding that nobody really ends up actually talking about. And today we're actually going to be discussing that. What is vibe coding, if you may ask? If you're not familiar with the term, then basically what it just means is that you just prompt any type of software or any type of LLM like ChatGPT or maybe even Replit or maybe even Claude or Google's Gemini, and you basically just tell them that, like, hey, make me this app, and it'll make it for you, and you can have an entire preview and you can have an entire app set up and potentially even deployed within a few minutes. That is called vibe coding. It's basically just prompting, but we've kind of just come up with another term for it. So while I love the term, while I love that everybody is participating into it, and even myself, I'm having a lot of fun with just like developing apps and like bringing my ideas out into the world and into fruition. And just in general, AI has been helping me a lot. There's a fundamental problem that nobody really likes to talk about, and that problem is literally just debugging. Now, look, if you're already a software engineer or you're a software developer, you already know that half of the time, developing the code is not the problem. It's actually debugging it. And a lot of my friends that actually are really into coding, even before, ChatGPT actually came out, and they used to just like, use Stack Overflow, they would always talk about that, like, oh, debugging is one of the hardest problems or the hardest parts of actually learning how to code or actually just setting up an entire program to work without any bugs. And that is the problem really that everybody seems to have with vibe coding, especially me as well. So I'll give you a couple of examples as well that on exactly what I'm talking about. And sometimes vibe coding is just not enough for you to actually help solve that problem. So here we are. So this is Replit, of course. If you don't already know, I've already made a couple of videos on Replit as well, and just like developing up different apps or different websites with it. On the bottom, you can see here my recent apps. So we have Resume Reforge, Resume Tailor, and Resume Aligner. Now, obviously, you can kind of tell that it has something to do with resumes. Now, here's the thing that I kind of want to show you guys, right? Is that whenever I go into Resume Aligner, and then I'm obviously going to go ahead and just start everything, and I'm going to run. And as you can see over here, I have this error called secure connection failed. Now, this has been popping up, and I really don't understand why exactly it has been popping up. I've actually used different browsers. I've really done everything. I've even, gone ahead and just prompted Replit agent and also assistant. Like, the page is literally not opening. Please fix. I've even gone ahead and actually just copied over the error itself. Like, I've even gone ahead and just copied and pasted the entire error code, and nothing seems to happen, right? It's just looking through all the different files and just, going through something, and then it's like, okay, cool. It should be fixed now. And literally, it just never is fixed, right? So obviously, after a while of trying to debug the problem and just trying to, develop the app and actually wasting a lot of money on this as well, like $5 on just this iteration of the app itself, I wasn't able to actually figure out what exactly was wrong with it. So then I was just like, you know what? Forget this. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try again, building from scratch. I'm gonna get a better prompt because hey, maybe the problem was with my prompt, right? So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get another prompt, and I'm just gonna go ahead, get another prompt, a better prompt actually, and I'm just gonna try my best to actually figure out how to build an app from scratch from there. So that's what I did exactly. So let's go back. And obviously now you can see that I have actually loaded Resume Reforge, which was the second iteration of this app. Now look, over here you can actually see that I'm actually able to preview the actual web app that I'm trying to develop. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like this is great, right? Obviously there's some problems already with the code, like you can't see this text properly, right? Those should be easily fixable. That's not what I'm really worried about. That's a part of vibe coding. Like you should just be able to tell it, like, hey, this text over here is just white, make it dark or make it black or whatever, and make sure that it's readable, right? This is what I'm actually worried about over here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and refresh the page right here. And you see how it's asking me to drag and drop my resume? I'm gonna go ahead quickly, just add my resume in here. I'm gonna add a PDF. And you see how even though I uploaded this resume, it's not pulling in any information that I actually have on the resume itself. It's just pulling in some random information. It's literally just hallucinating this information and not pulling in anything that I actually have it on the PDF. So you have all of this. I've literally never put anything on my resume that says develop web applications using React. So either way, right? we can go continue, and basically just to give you a little bit of background on what exactly I was trying to accomplish with this app was basically you upload your resume, and then from there you can literally just go ahead and copy and paste any job description or any job responsibilities for the next job that you actually want to apply to. And then from there, this web app would actually just use AI, analyze your resume, and then just tailor it to the new position that you actually wanted to apply to, and then just return back your resume. So it should be just like a simple, like, hey, take this PDF, take this text, combine it all together, optimize it all, and then return me back another PDF with the updated resume. That's all that I was asking it to do. It wasn't anything like really complex, at least technically speaking, it shouldn't be, but I guess it just was not able to get it right. And also, by the way, for those that are a little bit more technical, I want to just make sure that you guys know I tried Google Gemini's API and I also tried DeepSeek's API. I have not tried Claude API or OpenAI's API because those two are just so expensive. So I just didn't want to spend that much money. So either way, now it's asking me like, all right, cool, like target job description, and I could just try to put it like, hey, look, it's the job title is product manager. As you can see over here, it says job title. Okay, what company? Let's just say it's for YouTube Inc. And then let me just put designing products. Okay, I'm just gonna hit analyze and continue. It's gonna say it's processing. Okay, let's see what exactly it comes back up with. All right, so check this out. Okay, it says it's on the second step. It says job match analysis, right? It says key skills match JavaScript, React, Node.js. Now, I can assure you, I don't have anywhere that I have any of these skills actually mentioned in my resume. And there's literally like, this is just hallucinating everything. Okay. Develop web applications using React. Like, I don't know how exactly what information it's actually pulling up. Like, I have no idea. I could just hit accept all and then generate final resume. Let's see what exactly it gives me, right? Because it potentially it should just give me a outputted PDF. Now it has all these different download options, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's download PDF format of it, right? Check this out. Nothing loads. This is the problem. This is one of the biggest problems that I'm having. That nothing will just load. Okay, I can try docx format. Okay, it's gonna say, all right, cool. Like, let me open it with text edit, right? This is all that it says. Those are just the contents. Like, what happened to this information right here? You know, what happened to all of this? What happened to John Doe's resume? So apparently, since I'm John Doe, right? And the thing is, I have tried to troubleshoot, I have tried to debug, I have tried to do all of these different things, and literally nothing seems to work. And this is literally one of the underrated problems that nobody ever talks about within vibe coding or in just in the AI hype space, right? Because I think it's very simple on why it's never talked about is because it's not news grabbing, it's not a headline, right? Everything about AI or everything about technology or everything about the future is always either just completely dystopian or completely utopian. Somebody will always either tell you on how good the world is going to be with this specific technology, or they're going to tell you how bad and terrible and how grueling the world is going to be with this new technology. But the truth of the matter is that everything is always going to be somewhere in the middle. Okay, not everything is going to be good news and not everything is going to be bad news. It's always going to be okay news at best, right? Obviously AI is advancing at a very rapid and advanced pace, and I do think that we are going to see a cultural and a technological shift that we basically saw whenever the internet was actually invented. So yes, all of those things are very true. And for anybody that's actually trying to sell you any type of idea that like, hey, literally anyone can make anything, yes, that is potentially like 90% true. You can definitely go ahead and go on Replit and literally make any personalized software that you actually want. Yes, that is definitely possible, but you are still going to need to study a little bit and just debug everything because that is still going to be necessary. I just want you to keep that in mind because I never want you to feel stupid. I never want you to think that like, oh, you just can't figure it out. Everybody is able to vibe code except for you. Like, no, trust me, a lot of people are having this problem. They're obviously just not making the headlines, right? Only the top 1% or the top 10% of people are actually vibe coding in the first place. And even out of that 10% of the population that is vibe coding, only about like 2% will probably stick with it, debug everything, and just do everything, right? Is it easier than ever to actually learn how to code or just like not know how to code and actually build something that you want in your life? Yeah, absolutely it is. I'm not denying that whatsoever. But it does come with some caveats as well, and I just want you to be aware of that. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it informative at all, remember to hit that like and subscribe button for me because it'll help me out tremendously, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.